Probably one of the most significant things that has impressed me of Zion is how it's a caring community and a welcoming community. Whenever there's a need, like maybe somebody's sick, somebody's on their deathbed, a premature child, an unemployed person, difficulty in marriage, and other kinds of situations, people have really rallied here at Zion around those people and tried to do their best to support them.
My brother Wayne, who's also attended Zion for years, told me once, this was quite a number of years ago, but he said, Zion is my insurance policy. Now, of course he had insurance, but I knew what he meant. You knew that if something happened, the people at Zion would be there for you.
I think Zion is particularly known for hospitality, friendship, outreach to the newcomers who walk in to the door. We have a wonderful system of greeters. Everyone receives a bulletin. We have wonderful fellowship meals now once a month. And my children now are young adults, and in their journeys through young adulthood, they have attended many different churches. And all of them have told me that Zion is unusual in its welcoming of newcomers.
I look around and note that if younger children or teens are maybe not quite paying attention to the service, when we get to the sharing portion, they look up from whatever they were drawing or doing or doodling, and they pay attention. They listen to what people have to share because they realize that is an important part of this community.
I have seen Zion care for its members in a number of ways. Probably more ways than Zion realizes it cares for its members.
I remember when Joel Lehman had his accident and was hospitalized at UVA for a long period of time. People from the congregation were seeking to make sure that Joel and Darlene and the children knew that we cared for them. It happened through visiting them in the hospital, carrying meals in, making sure the children were cared for, and making sure they had people to talk to.
We went through a period of time of unemployment where my husband lost his job, and that came as a big shock to our family. It was unexpected, and we turned to our church almost immediately, and that was invaluable to us. My children learned tremendous lessons about what a church community can do for one another because they saw it happen in our own home. They saw the cards that came, some anonymous, with money in them that came to our door almost daily. They saw that happen right away. They saw the gift cards coming. They saw visits. They saw meals brought in. I can't even begin to count all the ways that Zion as a church body supported us.
We've personally experienced the care of Zion over the years. When our children were young, we had a period of time when we had a lot of medical bills. They all needed ear tubes and they were sick a lot, and we didn't have a lot of money at that time, and we got several fairly sizable gifts. I don't know who gave them, but when we were in need financially, people from Zion saw that and came through for us.
I think it's important to Zion. I think that people know that's. I think they've felt that giving, and they want to return that and say, "Hey, I know how you feel. Been there, or if I've not been there, we're here for you." And that's something that Zion does really well.
My name is Olivia, and I've been attending Zion my whole life. I think it's drawn me closer to God in a lot of ways, because I think while I was younger, I just came because my family did, and I wasn't really understanding everything that was involved with coming here at Zion. But I think since I've taken the faith classes and been baptized, I've really come to fully understand what Zion Mennonite Church is all about, and that I can have a really close relationship with God and the people here at church that have had a big impact on my life. I enjoy just walking in the doors and being able to talk to people. I know there's a few people in the church that just have welcomed me into the church every Sunday since I was really little. I think that's played a really big part in my life, that it's made me a better person to have them as an influence, and just the people around me have been really special. This kind of feels like an extra home, that if anything would happen, I can come to my church family before anyone. And even though the church has ups and downs, we've always been able to get through those together, and we can work together through those things, and that it's just a lot of support here, and you can rely on anyone.
Zion has had a great record of encouraging people to reach out and serve. We've had many persons go out from here into service, stateside and internationally. Almost every year, I think we can say somebody has been in VS. And we've encouraged those people when they come back to report to us their experiences. We've encouraged letters from them and write up in Windows Magazine monthly, or bi-monthly, what's happening.
The way that we've encouraged young adults to use that mission impulse is to participate with our Mennonite agencies in short-term or long-term service assignments, but also to encourage our youth group to do week-long service projects in the summertime, either with Mennonite Central Committee or Virginia Mennonite Missions or Mennonite Mission Network, whereby we're exposing our youth and young adults to what it means to be in another setting and be a witness for Christ either in word or in service.
I like the way we approach service now. It's not that I'm going out to help this needy person. It's that I'm going out to both share in any way I can, but also to learn from other people. But I think we encourage it by all the financial support we give to lots of service missions, by recognizing and commissioning people who are going into service activities, by promoting it in windows and in sermons, by having fundraising events when we do to support people.
I hope my kids get that same sense when they graduate from high school, or whenever it's appropriate for them to look at missions, to think about, a 6-month, a year term is something that would be important to them. I think that's a great thing, and I think it says something about how we educate our children at Zion, and place some importance in that area. And the better thing is when they come back and are then plugged back into Zion. I think it says a great deal, but when they come back and plug back in, I think we're richer for it.
Everyone that I've noticed that has felt that call and has taken that step and made the decision to go into missions, Zion has been right behind them saying, we're here, we'll support you, whether that be financially or with prayer teams or whatever you ask of us. We believe in your call, and we'll be there as your church family during your time away and when you return.
I think it's a really good way for Zion to connect with the larger church body, and even though many of us don't actually get to go, we can support through our offerings and through encouragement, through letters and phone calls and emails, and be a part of God's ministry that way.
I'm Matt. I've been coming to Zion for maybe 6 or 7 years. We started coming here in about 2003 when we moved here. One thing I really like about Zion is the kind of more traditional focus on like hymn music and stuff like that. I also really like how friendly people are. Like you just walk down the hall and people just kind of say hey to you all the time and stuff like that. So people are really nice here. One thing I really like about the MYF is how many different opinions there are. During Sunday school, we'll obviously get into theological debates and we'll talk about things pretty deeply. So I kind of like looking at other people's opinions, and that kind of challenges how my faith grows. I think that having a strong youth program is important for getting youth ready for going out into the world and stuff like that, so you're not just kind of throwing them out there. Having a strong youth program kind of sets the foundation for, the next generation of church-going people. When I think of Zion, I think of a traditional approach to worship and music, and I think of really friendly, welcoming people.
When we first came to Zion, we did a lot of singing, both Sunday school hour. We met for Sunday school hour opening first, and the more inexperienced leaders got a chance to lead those songs. And then during the worship hour, the more experienced persons led songs. And the singing was very good. It was 4-part from one of 2 hymnals we had. I think Zion's always had 2 hymnals.
Back in the 70s, when I first came to Zion, I enjoyed playing bass guitar and being part of a worship team that went out from EMU and did programs in churches. And I was always pleased that Zion was a place that was open to having more than just 4-part harmony, while also making 4-part harmony a meaningful part of the worship.
When we came to Zion, and the music here had both that heritage of shaping up music and uplifting new, more modern music. It fulfilled in us that spot that we both need and enjoy.
The a cappella tradition was what initially drew me to Zion, because I was unfamiliar with that. And I was unfamiliar with people who could sing that well, who were not musically trained.
I still remember when I first came to Zion, I was shocked that they had the old Mennonite hymnal with the shape notes in it. I was like, man, this is cool. That's how I learned to sing, with shape notes. I thought that's neat, because that's the way I want my kids to, if they want to learn. I think shape notes is a great way to learn it.
I am one of the rare Mennonites who missed the music gene. So music has not been a really important part of my Zion experience. I like music, and but it's just not the same for me. It's not a passion.
I enjoy the contemporary music when I know it enough and can follow it. I enjoy how we use the gifts of our instrumentalists, especially the young people, helping to train them.
I've also seen more use of instruments, and I think that fits the Psalms. I mean, the Psalms are all about making a joyful noise unto the Lord, and I think Zion does that.
The musical change at Zion has been from no instruments, and the pastor at the time when I first came was Harvey Yoder. And every now and then I run into his son, Brent Yoder, and he loves to tease me that I played the first guitar in Zion, although I don't remember that.
I like the hymns, and I like having the guitars and the instruments and a variety. And I think it's a strength of Zion that we've been able to pull both of those together and keep everyone at least a little bit happy.
I like the variety of music that we have here because I feel like it is able to touch a lot of different people within the congregation. If we just had one style, there would be people who would never like it. However, I don't think we please anybody all the time, but the fact that we have variety means that within the span of maybe a month, you get a Sunday where you feel like the music touched your heart.